The way this therapy is conducted is that there are certain special points or there are certain special areas along the fascia which the therapist knows how to manipulate, and the therapist knows how to, for each intrinsic problem, the recipe changes. So for digestive issues, there are different procedures, and for muscular issues, there are different procedures. But essentially, there are certain pressure points on the body, and the therapist basically knows which to manipulate at which point in time. Hello and Assalamu alaikum. My name is Taimoor and I am a Bowen therapist. Bowen is a therapy that I am trying to introduce to Pakistan, and as far as I know, I am probably the only practitioner here. It is an Australian therapy, and currently it is one of the most powerful therapies, physical therapies in the world, and as far as the results are concerned, and has the largest base of how many issues that any therapy can work on. And this is one of those therapies that work on a larger base of things. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about what Bowen therapy is. But before I begin to tell you about what Bowen is, let me tell you about what therapies in general are. Now, there are like about 5,000 mainstream therapies in the world. Most of them are like psychotherapies and whatnot. This isn't a psychotherapy. This is a physical therapy where we go and fix the problems physically. We go, and it's a touch-based therapy. And there are other therapies like this, but not exactly. Like the physiotherapy, there's acupuncture, acupressure, reflexology, there's hijama, there is Reiki, there are other therapies similarly that fix these issues. All therapies work in the same fashion philosophically, because they ask the human body and they ask the healing system of the human body to fix the problem. And in that sense, we are the body whisperers of the body. We know what to press, what point to manipulate in order to get the results. The way Bowen therapy works is that we work through the fascia. Now, fascia is a very interesting organ of the body. It has 3 layers, and it is the largest organ that the body has. It has 3 layers. The first layer is the peripheral fascia, which basically runs right under the skin, and the next layer of the fascia goes and wraps itself around the muscles of the body, all the muscles of the body. And the third layer of the fascia goes and wraps itself around the organs of the body. Now, this is an organ that goes everywhere in the body. And because it goes everywhere in the body, it gives anybody who works through the fascia, it gives that person a license to go everywhere in the body. So unlike other therapies which work, let's say physiotherapy works on muscles and joints and ligaments only, Bowen therapy doesn't just work on muscles and ligaments and joints only. It works on viscera as well, which means it works on the systemic issues as well. And systemic issues are, we are a collection of systems. The human body is a collection of systems. We have the respiratory system, the circulatory system, the nervous system, the digestive system, and so on, the renal system, and so on and so forth. So because the fascia goes everywhere, we get a license to go everywhere and go and fix those issues as well. So in that, this therapy is very unique, because it not only just works on the muscles and the joints and the ligaments only, but it works on the systems as well. Somebody has a digestive concern, somebody has kidney concerns or liver concerns or circulatory issues or respiratory issues or asthma or diabetes or any of those issues, this therapy can go and work on those areas as well. The way this therapy is conducted is that there are certain special points or there are certain special areas along the fascia which the therapist knows how to manipulate, and the therapist knows how to, for each intrinsic problem, the recipe changes. So for digestive issues, there are different procedures, and for muscular issues, there are different procedures. But essentially, there are certain pressure points on the body, and the therapist basically knows which to manipulate at which point in time, and in order to get the results. As compared to other therapies, in this therapy is not just the fact that it is powerful, it is done once a week. It's not, it's one of those non-invasive therapies where we do not use force, we do not use cuts, we do not, it's not like in hijama where, there's a little bit of invasion, or like acupuncture where there's a little bit of invasion where, you have to prick the needles. It does not use any of those methods. It just uses the pressures of the hand, and there are certain switches in the body which need to go on and off, and in order for the therapist to give the body a certain recipe. And once that recipe is given, this therapy is done once a week. The body goes to work on that recipe, working on that recipe for the rest of the week, and then the next session is always a week later. So Bowen therapy was invented or discovered by a person called Tom Bowen. Australia में था. He was in Geelong, Australia. और he was also interested in finding solutions to health problems that the people were having. इसकी अपनी wife जो थी, supposedly she was also somebody who was terminally ill and somebody who could not walk properly, and the doctor said we can't do very much for her. And she was the love of his life, and he wanted to help her any which way he could. So he started visiting therapists, he started visiting doctors, he started learning about these things, and he started developing techniques of his own as well. And once he started developing those techniques, he started applying those techniques to his wife, and lo and behold, she became better, and she started walking, and she was good. So then he opened up his clinic there in Geelong, और वहाँ पे फिर he started treating other people as well, and people heard of him, they kept coming, and he became really famous. So otherwise इसने खुद से he did not leave a written record himself, because he was more interested in the practice of things rather than the academic part of things. Later on, he found this couple. They came to him, और उन्होंने से कहा कि जी, we are interested in this miraculous therapy that you are doing, तो हमें भी कुछ बताएं, हमें भी कुछ सिखाएं. तो इसने कहा ठीक है, आ जाए मेरे क्लिनिक में, and I'll teach you about it. And this couple was called, their names were Ossie and Elaine Rentak. तो इन्होंने फिर वहाँ से जाके इससे सीखना शुरू किया, and they found it to be very, very effective and very powerful in healing. और इन्होंने फिर उसको एकेडमिकली इन्होंने नोट्स वगैरह बनाए और चीज़ इन्होंने उसको टेक डाउन किया, और ये 1984 में टॉम बावन पास्ड अवे. व्हेन ही वाज नियर डेथ, इसने एक ख्वाहिश का इजहार किया इस कपल से. इसने रिक्वेस्ट की कि यार मैं तो इसके लिए इसको मतलब उस तरह से आम नहीं कर सका दुनिया में, लेकिन आप ये मतलब इस मोडालिटी को लोगों को तक पहुंचाएं, लोगों को सिखाएं, बताएं. और फिर उसके मरने के बाद उसकी ख्वाहिश के मुताबिक इन्होंने फिर वहाँ ऑस्ट्रेलिया में एक इंस्टीट्यूट बनाया बोटेक के नाम से, फ्रॉम बावन टेक्नोलॉजी. सो बोटेक इज़ द नेम ऑफ दैट इंस्टीट्यूट इन ऑस्ट्रेलिया. And then they started developing academic courses, and then they started teaching. That is where I went, and I got my degree as well. This therapy is unlike traditional medicine, because जिस वक्त प्रॉब्लम कोई भी प्रॉब्लम लेकर कोई आपके पास आता है यूजली, और फिर लेट मी टॉक अ लिटिल बिट अबाउट द प्रॉब्लम्स एज वेल, क्योंकि यहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम ये है कि जब व्हेन वी हैव अ हेल्थ क्राइसिस, व्हेन वी हैव अ हेल्थ प्रॉब्लम, वी डू नॉट इमीडिएटली नो वेयर टू गो, हाउ टू सीक हेल्प, वेयर टू गो एंड गेट हेल्प. सो लॉट ऑफ द टाइम, मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल, दिस इज लाइक 99% ऑफ द टाइम्स, लोग पेन किलर्स खा के टाइम पास करते रहते हैं, या कोई और इस तरह की पेलिएटिव ट्रीटमेंट्स कर के टाइम पास करते रहते हैं. दे डोंट रियली नो कि इस चीज़ का सलूशन है भी या नहीं है. सो अ लॉट ऑफ द टाइम्स दे कीप पोस्टपोनिंग दीज प्रॉब्लम्स until they become so chronic that they either have to get a surgery or get something or other. Now, if there is one thing, if someone was to ask me कि यार कोई एक चीज़ बताएं जो सारों के साथ common issue हो, I think that the one thing that is the cause of most problems with a lot of people is the fact that they are out of balance. उनका बैलेंस आउट हो जाता है because of the way in which some people said, कोई एक तरफ लीन करता है, कोई दूसरी तरफ करता है, कई दफ़ा मैट्रेस पुराना है, कई दफ़ा हमारे सोने का पोस्चर अच्छा नहीं है, कई दफ़ा हमारे खड़े होने का पोस्चर अच्छा नहीं है, एक टांग पे ज़्यादा जोर दे रहे हैं. सो मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम 90% ऑफ द टाइम लोगों का posture जो है वो आउट ऑफ बैलेंस होता है. जब posture आउट ऑफ बैलेंस होगा तो व्हाट हैपन्स इज कि बॉडी की एक साइड जो है वो ज़्यादा स्ट्रेन ले रही होगी, दूसरी साइड कम स्ट्रेन ले रही होगी. सो यूजली व्हाट हैपन्स इज, दिस इज अ कॉमन सिनेरियो, कि एक घुटने में ज़्यादा तकलीफ शुरू हो जाएगी. अब एक घुटने में ज़्यादा तकलीफ शुरू होगी तो एक हिप में ज़्यादा तकलीफ शुरू होगी, इवेंचुअली आफ्टर वाइल हो कमर में भी पेन शुरू हो जाएगी, एंड गो ऑल द वे अप टू द शोल्डर. और जब ये पेन शुरू होंगी तो फिर नेचुरली देयर इज अ रिएक्शन इन फॉर एवरीबॉडी कि वो दूसरी तरफ फिर वो वेट अपना शिफ्ट करना शुरू कर देते हैं. देन द अदर साइड स्टार्ट्स टू हैव प्रॉब्लम्स. सो व्हेन पीपल कम टू मी, लॉट ऑफ द टाइम पीपल कम टू मी विद प्रॉब्लम सच एज कि जी हमें तो डॉक्टर ने कहा है कि नी की सर्जरी होगी, एंड यूजली मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम जब उनको बैलेंस उनका चेक करते हैं तो बैलेंस उनका आउट होता है. उनको बैलेंस उनका रिस्टोर करते हैं तो उनके नीज ठीक हो जाते हैं, ना सर्जरी की ज़रूरत, ना पेन किलर्स की ज़रूरत. इन ऑल ऑफ दीज टाइम्स, all of these years, वो पेन किलर्स खा के eventually they get immune to the pain killers as well. So when people come to me with a problem कि जी हमारा ये मसला है, usually there are certain मतलब जैसे balancing issues हैं, ये common issues होते हैं, तो usually the solution that is designed for these people is always customized, क्योंकि एक आदमी का जो lifestyle है वो दूसरे के साथ मैच नहीं करता. So उनसे पहले मालूम करना पड़ता है, पूरी हिस्ट्री लेनी पड़ती है कि उनके what is the nature of their work, वो करते क्या है. इफ़ दे आर अ सेल्समैन तो उनका इसका मतलब है कि चलने फिरने का ज़्यादा काम होगा, खड़े होने का काम ज़्यादा होगा. इसका मतलब है कि उसके नीज़ में, हिप्स में, लोअर बैक के इश्यूज़ होंगे जो प्राइमरी इश्यूज़ होंगे. अगर लेट से डेस्क वर्कर है, लेट से प्रोग्रामर है, ये डेवलपर है, सारा दिन 8 घंटे 10 घंटे वो बैठ के काम कर रहा है, टांगें तो काम कर नहीं रही, हाथ से वो काम ज़्यादा कर रहा है. सो यूजली हिज प्रॉब्लम्स और हर प्रॉब्लम्स विल बी इन द शोल्डर्स, नेक एंड द अपर बैक एंड सो ऑन एंड सो फोर्थ. सो यूजली द वर्क, द लाइफ स्टाइल डिसाइड्स ऑल्सो कि प्रॉब्लम्स की नेचर या उनकी इटियोलॉजी कहाँ से आ रही है. until the problem itself is solved, तो then the problem will always keep coming back. For the sake of an argument, अगर किसी के सर में दर्द है because they have a digestive problem, then the digestive issues need to be resolved, not give a painkiller for कि ये Panadol खा लो सर का दर्द ठीक हो जाएगा. This is not the solution. The proper solution is to go and study where the problem is, where the etiology is coming from. And that problem is always, usually always coming either from the diet or the lifestyle or the way we sit, the way we stand, the way we work, how much we work, how much sleep do we get, how much, what's the quality of the food that we have, or how much water that we get. So these are usually some of the common issues that people are missing out on. And that is how we solve the problems for each person. It's all the solutions are customized. They are tailor-made to each person. So it's not like one pill, one solution for everybody. And this is the way this therapy works.